Ever since hands could build, since dreams could float, they've been shoving off together in a wooden boat. Fathers and sons casting lines together, that's the bond between men and rivers. There were gamblers and girls, good old Mark Twain, big wheels from the Gulf Coast to the Illinois plain. Here's to the Huck Finns and the young Tom Sawyers, that's the romance of men and rivers. Carrying rumors of gold in the pan, we follow these veins all over this land. The rugged risk takers, rolling reward givers, that's the story of men and rivers. Ever since rain could fall, since floods could rise, they've been kneeling in the mud and cursing the skies. But some hang on because they aren't quitters, that's the measure of men and rivers. Like Lewis and Clark map the West, trappers and loggers and poets the rest. Black Southern preachers who baptize the sinners, all touch the spirits of men and rivers. Ever since hands could build, so that streams could float, they've been shoving off together in a wooden boat. Fathers and sons casting lines together, that's the bond between men and rivers.
Your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
Good morning. I'm here.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
And TGIW. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the IRONWORX, where I'm sliding in by the skin of my teeth. That was not even the song I had intended to play. It just happened to be the song I had handy. I was running so far behind that didn't have time to get everything done that I wanted. Shout out to Shadow Band, who was the original song I was supposed to play, but didn't have time to find it. So stay tuned for the next break where we will be playing some Shadow Band. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday.
Howdy. Howdy. How are you all?
Oh,
Too bad.
I'm alive.
Pouring some coffee on it. Right. I felt cool enough. 25. Going up to, I don't know, it was 97 yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, that's like down here, sounding temperatures. Only going up to 92 today. I could take that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, we jumped in the truck yesterday at 103 on the thermometer, the truck thermometer. Yeah, the high today here is only going to be 85. Ooh, but we will be having rain and storms at like noon today, so that's part of why. It's that time of year. Every other day we have rain now. In fact, the only clear days I see ahead are Friday and Saturday here in South Louisiana, so every other day is cloudy, which is not what I wanted to see. I've been out observing the sky a bit more of late. I had, jumped on that hard early on back in 2014, 2015. As Zack can attest, the more you look at the sky, the more anything down here makes the more you look at the sky, the less any sense things down here make. So I just, it's pretty and cool shit happens up there. That's pretty much where I'm at with the sky. But pretty shit does happen up there. So I've been kind of back out in it, playing around, taking a few pictures, a few videos. I'll go some here, a little bit later. I'm gonna pull an Andrew now and teach y'all. Mm-hmm. I'll probably wait till after like the 5 o'clock break, just because that'll give people time to get here and stuff. I mean, not that I don't want Justin and Liz Ryan to see it, but it's just the more the merrier, right? Isn't that what they say?
That's what they say. Shout out to Ian, who can only pop in for a minute.
What's up, Ian?
So I woke up yesterday, slept all the way into my alarm at 4. Super excited. Yay, sleeping till 4. Woke up, hopped up, went, used the restroom, came back and sat on the bed because I was going to gather up all my stuff, take it out to the kitchen where I get ready for work. And as I'm sitting on the bed after I used the bathroom, feeling good because I slept until 4, pretty soon the room starts to spin.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought, well, oh no, this can't be good. Then little beads of sweat start to form on my forehead. I thought, oh shit, this can't be good. So I start to take a walk, thinking maybe I'll just walk it off. This won't be too bad. So I stands up I does, and the room just takes off. Just starts spinning like crazy. So I'm trying to suffer through, thinking maybe it's just passing and it'll be gone before I know it. Make it out to the kitchen and run outside and just vomit over the railing. Apparently I've got one of the silent migraines. So I get all the symptoms but the headache.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sucked. So then I had to suffer through that. Just pouring off sweat like fuck. So I went, ran, hopped in the shower, rinsed off, came back out, and it just got worse. Woke up Dixie puking in the bathroom. It was a whole freaking thing. And I had to try to take a little nap, sleep off what I could, and I still made it to work by 10:15, but I am just now feeling not hungover.
Damn, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear you had a day like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that sounds an awful lot like the beginning of one of my Meuniers attacks. Knock on wood, I haven't had in a minute. Except for the sweating. Not the sweating usually isn't part of it. But that whole it's spinning, and then when I move, it goes into overdrive. That usually is what happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure my mother didn't have Meunier's disease. Because she had really bad vestibular issues that they never could find the cause of. I just wonder if that might not have been it.
I wonder back on the things that my mom used to go through with falling for no reason, just standing still, literally, and next thing you know, well, mom was down again. So we used to joke about it as far as like, anytime the rest of us would stumble or fall or whatever, like standing still and twist your foot kind of thing. Like, thanks, Mom. But yeah, it could have been that she actually had it. It's why I had it. I don't know how genetically that thing actually gets passed down or whatever. Excuse me. Well, I'm glad you're back to feeling better.
Yeah, me too. There wasn't a damn thing I could do to feel not hungover. Just a weird lightness and emptiness, and just like you're not quite all there. Like you're just a faded version of what you should be. But my colors are bright today, so I'm feeling good. God, there's flooding everywhere. Chicago's flooded out. Saw some flooding out in, I think, New Mexico, I think. All sorts of water rescues being performed across this country.
Person saved her.
Oh, shit. And it looks like we are reconnected. Looks like there might have been a hiccup there, OBS style. I don't know what to fucking do. Internet was out all day yesterday, so the fact that it's going at all good. But my God, Regina.
Oh, wow. This is the same wreck that caused her having vertigo? Just trying to play catch up here in the chat.
True.
Well, if that is the thing that's continuing, like if you still get vertigo, then I would definitely go to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, because that's when I was diagnosed with this disease. Now, I'm pretty sure I had it prior to that, because there was a few different times where I would think, oh man, I must be coming down with something. And, get dizzy, puke in the shower, whatever, and then be like, whoa, I was so glad that passed, and think, I guess I'll be all right. And then, after my wreck, it just was a nonstop thing, and that's when I had to go figure out what was going on, and they wouldn't even do the surgery on my arm. So if it continues, Regina, I definitely would think about maybe going to check on that after the wreck, because once those little crystals in the ear get all stirred up from that impact, that usually is or I say usually, for me, that was definitely when it began to become an issue that had to be dealt with. Uh-oh. You still having trouble? I'm seeing Nemo giving you some tips on how to shut down browser stuff you don't need, maybe. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
No, I'm here. There's nothing really open. Everything's copacetic here.
I don't know, just reading his note for you there.
Just the way the whole thing froze made me think that it wasn't internet related or anything else. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. What?
that river in Texas rose more than 25 feet in 2 hours. That's just crazy.
Yeah, and it was like 26 feet. And I thought it was like 90 minutes or some shit.
Jeez, that's just insane.
You seen all the flooding in Chicago?
Unprecedented. Their previous record was 36 feet back in 1932.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen anything on Chicago yet.
Really, give that a search. Look at all the flooding in Chicago right now. It's pretty crazy. All the water rescues and things going on there.
Hope my family's all right up there. Called my mom yesterday. She sent me a message back. Didn't say anything about it, so.
Must not be too bad.
No, not the weather. Yes, as of 6 hours ago, they said they're under flash flood warning amid heavy rains. What do they got going on? Warning not to attempt to travel unless they were fleeing floodwaters. Warning them of dangerous and life-threatening situations. Da, 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 da. 5 inches of rain in 90-minute span. Which, I mean, to be fair, is a lot of water.
To be fair.
5 inches in an hour and a half, yeah, to be fair. It's no 25 inches, right? But 5 inches in an hour and a half, that's a lot of rain. It's weird. When you see a lot of the records for heat and bad storms and stuff like that, a lot of it comes from the early 30s.
That would make sense, I think. Especially with the flash floods. Post-Dust Bowl, where there's less vegetation to hold in all the dirt. All the stuff that's been blowing around now just starts to get washed away. Water just rolls right over the top of it. Little hydrophobic.
And Mother Nature's just gotta remind us from time to time how little we are.
I
Or how
don't think
big
there's
this place is.
anything natural about it. But that's just my paranoid ass.
I saw an old video of SDR, right, way back in the day, talking about weather modification and how they're already able to do it back then. Maybe instead of trying to tax people for breathing and owning cows that fart, saying that it's their fault that the weather is changing, how about we blame the people that are actually admitting to trying to change the weather? Just a thought.
Would make sense. I think that'd be the logical place to start. Oh my God, man-made climate change. Man-made global warming. Because cow farts. Not geoengineering, but cow fart.
Right.
So did you see what old Pam Bondi had to say about the Epstein thing? Oh, there's no list.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't it just a few months ago? She was saying the list is sitting on her desk right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then they handed out a bunch of stage 1 pamphlets to a bunch of influencers talking about this is stage 1 of the Epstein list. We're going to be leaking out, blah, 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 blah. Now it's just there is no list.
Yeah. This could be the great undoing. All of that support, the support I can't believe he managed to get. All of the lefties that turned and voted for him, and just the sheer number of people that managed to give him the popular vote. This could be the great undoing. Being just so blatant about it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Like when you send out the edited video, like, here, this is the proof that nothing conspiratorial happened. Here's the video evidence that we managed to cut 1 minute out of, and we're not going to tell you about. Here's the...
Not going to happen in a minute.
Nothing happened. Nope, nothing happened at all.
Just crazy, man. Truth, transparency, blah, 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 blah.
That's just it. There's just nothing to show. We're completely transparent.
No, we just threw this lady in prison for 20 years for trafficking, sex trafficking people to no one.
To no one. Yep. Makes perfect sense.
We've been saying the whole time, there's a club, folks, and we ain't in it.
Thank God. I don't want to be in that club.
No, hell no. Feel so bad for these people who are brought up into these families like this. The Nathan Reynolds out there that, you know, seem to be good at heart, right? To not have that goodness and kindness, you know, voided out of you by age 7 like they try to do, that's got to be a hell for the rest of your life. That's what that song Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. That's what that song is about. These people growing up in these families, no one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated. It is their fate to tell only lies. What a song, man. One of the younger guys at work I was working with last week, he's like, oh, yeah, so-and-so redid this song. I love it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, that's about one of those secret society families. I was telling him about it. His dad's a Mason. His grandfather was like the chief of police and the head of the Mason Lodge. So I was just kind of letting him know about some of the, you know, not so much the Masons that go down there and play ping pong every Tuesday night, you know, whatever, first Tuesday of the month, and they get together and drink beer and play ping pong. Call themselves Master Masons because they're 3rd degree, right? Those aren't the ones that are, you know, the issue or the problem or the ones that are causing any of this stuff. Whatever happened to Chad? Wasn't that guy's name?
Yeah, he disappeared.
32nd degree Mason we had a great conversation with.
Yep.
Was planning on coming back on the show.
Yep. Had a great time, as you said. Was ready to come back. He and I were in like constant touch. And then suddenly he didn't answer. And then suddenly people started asking me, hey, where's Chad? And I'm like, I don't know. He has gone away. Yep.
He was talking about leaving the Masons. He's, you know, it's not something like you call up and say, hey, I'm done. I'm out.
Right.
No, it's like a long process for getting out as well. When you're that high up, I'm sure like the masters at, whatever, the third rank or third degree, it's probably a lot simpler to get out. But when you're a 32nd degree Mason, they've shared some secrets with you.
Right.
Things you swore an oath with your life to protect these secrets. So yeah, they're going to make sure that you step away, properly without divulging their secrets.
Don't stand too close to any doorknobs.
At least not with a necktie on.
Yeah, the Albert Pike letter.
I was just about to ask about that. I'm playing catch up in chat. Apparently, I don't know that letter.
Yeah, I think they're talking about the one where he talks about the 3 world wars.
Ah, okay.
Now, Regina asked an interesting question. I wonder what the highest is that we don't know about. Now, I've seen people coming out and saying, again, don't know these people from Adam, right? Not putting a grain of salt into anything they say. But this was an intelligent man, well-educated, seemed real sharp and smart. He said he was a 90th degree Mason. He said, if you think about it, it would make sense that it goes up to 360 degrees. Right?
Only if you want to be a well-rounded individual.
Yeah. He said he was in the 90th degree, and it was all about doing like dark magic type stuff.
Just
the stuff that he was doing.
Butt sex.
Yeah, and he wasn't looking at it as like a magician. He was looking at it all through the lens of a physicist. He wanted to understand how, this magic worked in reality. And went on talking about it and yada, 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 the things he could talk about. But I mean, I really question whether or not it was legitimate. Just saying you're a 90th degree Freemason to me sounds like you're sharing information you're not supposed to be sharing. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It sounds like when you ask him which right, he's going to look at you a little cross-eyed. Like, oh, shit. What do you mean right? I just figured if I picked a big number, I'd be all right. I'm like a 87 degree Mason. No. Hold on. Now I'm 90 degree Mason.
Yes, Liz, the first break is coming up. She's on time.
She is on time. And she remembered to remind me to switch my IRONWORX logo back around from Saturday. So thank you, Liz. Much appreciated. Look at her go.
Thank you, Liz.
And it was supposed to be the latest from Shadow Band, but maybe we'll do the second latest. So it's one's 4 minutes, one's 7.5 minutes. We'll probably go with a 4-minute one. Sorry, Walter, didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say, I hope you got something. I meant to grab something while we were yapping and did not ever look. So
I did. I had it. I knew where to look. Just because I was running late this morning, I didn't have time to get it pulled up. But we are there. So don't you guys go anywhere because we've got the second half of the first half coming up right after this.
Night after night they took it
So now I listen to Iron Realm Media all the time. Now I'm walking around the earth and I'm thinking to myself, yes, guess what? This earth is flat indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
Ding, ding, ding. Good morning. Ding, ding, ding. Ba, 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 bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Good morning. Ba, bow, bow, ba, 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 bow. Beautiful day. Ba, 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 bow. It's a beautiful day. Ding, ding, ding.
Hi, this is Alan. I like IRONWORX because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that IRONWORX with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the IRONWORX.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back to the second half of the first half of the IRONWORX. And a big shout out to Shadow Band.
Yeah, that was awesome. Very awesome.
That was a block party.
Uh-oh.
What was the name of that tune?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Dawn. Probably won't be in chat much. She's fighting something that seems to be now giving her an eye infection of some sort. Sorry to hear that. I'll tell you what my grandma used to tell me to do with the eye problem. Well, maybe I won't.
I don't think it's what she told you to do. It's what she told you to stop doing. Walter,
right.
You go blind.
Right. I'm reading in the chat. Sorry. But yeah, she definitely was an early proponent of urine therapy. Let's just say that. How about that? Early proponent. Now, warm salt water is exactly what I'm talking about, Regina. Anyway, I'm not a doctor, nor am I an urologist. Hey, one thing about health. So I got in there and I found a spot, I'm pretty sure, and I got all the stuff that's in the way moved, and I got it all nice and dusted, and I started like pulling the first component out of the box again, and I realized, so this rife machine, working as it does to create frequencies, something occurred to me. Is the electricity source pertinent to it? Like, is it, I have really bad electricity in this house. It's filthy. Like when I started playing with real amps, cube amps, it was almost undoable in the home I have because of the old wiring and the horrible grounding. And I had to buy all kind of hum eliminators and run my electricity through that a certain way, and also through the connection from the amp to the speaker, and just all this stuff to eliminate some of that bad electricity hum. And then in our bedroom, there are literally 2 plugs that we have access to, one of which has our air conditioner for that bedroom running off of it. And then the other plug on that same outlet has the strip, which has the lamp and the phone chargers and the bedside tables plugged into it. Our bedside tables are ones that you can plug in that then have a strip like in the second layer where there's 2 or 3 phone chargeable jack holes, and then there's 2 or 3 electrical plugs. And that would be the electrical plugs that I was going to use. It would be coming through a surge protector, then through that table, going to the rife machine. Is that a good idea, or should I do a different setup for the electricity?
I bet the surge protector wouldn't be a bad thing.
So that is a good idea to go through all that? Okay. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to like cause it to like give its full oomph because I'm not running it through the right setup. You know what I'm saying? With all that.
That one is the generator itself. That's like so it just needs power to it. It's got like 2 different power sources.
Okay.
That you'll plug the back of it, but it regulates all that stuff.
So that's what I figured. I figured with what it's got in that freaking mixer board that it would handle it, but I wasn't sure before I went ahead and got everything set up there, because that way I can actually do it, like do a 9-hour session at night with my feet or whatever I need to do. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to like find a spot in the living room that I would have to be strapped down to for hours or whatever. I'm just, again, a little late getting it going, but this, you've seen my room, or you've seen my house, how stuff had to be moved and rearranged. And like I said, once I got it set up.
Some of them are even like 5 minutes.
Right. Well, I just saw somewhere in one of the, maybe that was in the Rife list that I got, was a suggestion of an overnight 9-hour or something. I don't know. I read that somewhere in all me trying to get ahead of this. Because again, I'm not going to just jump in and start pushing buttons and hope I figure it out. I've been reading and watching a video or 2. And... All right, cool deal. Sorry guys, got sidetracked.
For sure. Right. You want to make sure you know what you're doing with it.
That's why I've been trying to prepare, not just try to wing it. And then once I got like my, starting, I know I have you as an access, and I know there's Melissa there in the chat who had already offered to help me out with some of this. So I'll definitely be reaching out to you guys for details. Now, Josh, was it you that sent me the price list, or was that you, Zack, with the active frequencies or the?
I think that was Josh.
So I know I dropped a couple links for you of just random
one
stuff.
of them literally was my Estonia Gravis page on one of the Rife Sapper site pages, and then another link I found had an almost identical list of the frequencies. There were only like 2 in the list that were like maybe 2 or 3 numbers different. And I know that much in this can make a difference, so that's why I want to do a lot of cross-referencing. on the actual frequencies too. All right, cool deal. Moving on.
Just remember, before you start, 3 days of like more water than you've ever drank in your life.
Right. Well, I've gotten to the point now, again, if like too much information, I'm sure, but like when I first get up in the morning, that first one's kind of like flushing everything out. But after that, I drink so much water during the day, or smoothies, or what, I'm always got liquid going. If it's not water, it's something at least semi-healthy. I think the unhealthiest thing I drink anymore is sweet tea. I don't even want to do soft drinks. I mean, we haven't done soft drinks in the house in 20 years, but I don't even try. I try to get like anything not soft drink related if I can when we go out to eat, even, their tea or some lemonade if they offer it. It's not fountain lemonade or whatever, just trying to, whatever. It's hard to mitigate some of the damage that they offer us, but I do my best, damn it. But anyway, yeah, I've gotten to the point where I think I'm generally there with it, because I'm already taking, crap. I take the kratom, I take the kratom can affect your liver. I've discovered over my years of research. What's the other thing I take? I just now found out. Oh, turmeric. Apparently turmeric can actually build up in your liver, and I didn't know that. Like, it's great. Just like with anything, you definitely don't want to overdo anything you're trying to do for your health. And doing, taking too much turmeric can definitely cause it to make your liver start having a toxic reaction on its way to having some serious problems. You definitely want to keep it flushed out. And in that respect, I did the little research, decided to start taking milk thistle, only to find out Michelle had been ordering it and taking it herself online, from like forever big box store herself for that very reason, for the stuff she's been having to take over her years of post-rec crap. So she's been taking milk thistle already for that very reason. So it was already in the house and I didn't even know it. But anyway, yes, I've been flushing quite a bit. And I've also managed to lower my daily dosage of the prigmagnesine that I take. So I've gone from a considerable amount to a lesser amount. The numbers are still, sound ludicrous when you hear them, but for that medication, it's not a whole lot. Considering at one time I was taking like 120 per dose, now I'm down to half that per dose, and I was doing 4 or 5 doses a day, and I'm down to like 3 a day. So I'm getting there with the, getting my body ready for this. But anyway, I'm excited to make it different, definitely.
So what are the laws in your guys' state for hands-free driving?
What are the laws?
They'd like you to keep them at 10 and at 2. 2 hands on the wheel is how they prefer it.
I thought that's what time you had Dr. Pepper. 10 and 2, 8. Anyway, God, I'm old.
I like to steer with my knee.
If you're caught without your hands on the wheel, I mean, is that an infraction?
Well, it's about to be in my state. I know coming up, like they just passed, whatever the new round of let's fuck up everybody's day lawmaking they just did, it got passed in our state. So that is in the near, I think in August, like you literally can't have your phone in your hand. Like if you do, you're done. They're going to get you. So all that driving and playing Pokemon I used to do, that's over. I asked my sister-in-law's going to have hell with that. She drives and plays that shit everywhere. She worries me.
Yeah, they're saying you can't even look at your phone for navigation.
Yeah, no navigation, none of that. That's what's happening here, too. And it should be that way. It should have been that way a long time ago, with these fucking devices. We've gone from an annoyance that you have to pick up to talk on it when it rings to a fucking, 15-inch fucking TV screen in your car to watch it on now. To me, those are just as bad as having a cell phone. If I have to glance 45 degrees to the right to see something on a big-ass screen, that's just as distracting to me. If I can get a map, put it in your glove box, pull over, unfold that bitch, and figure it out. But that's just my grumpy ass.
A phone mounted, you could look at that all day long. Right?
Right.
It's mounted on your dashboard somewhere. Like you said, you're still looking away from the road.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But holding it in your hand and looking at it is no bueno. I don't understand the logic there.
No.
Like, there should be no visual anything. There should just be a voice telling you when to turn and if you've gone the wrong direction. There shouldn't be a visual. If you
There
can't
you go. Voice
do it while you're driving,
lead you, right.
yeah, then there shouldn't even be a visual of it offered, right? Google Maps should be like, if you're driving, this is driving mode, where there is no map and it's just going to tell you where to go.
Yeah, fuck your co-pilot. You don't need a co-pilot anymore. You don't need somebody helping you drive and telling you when to turn next that could be holding the phone for you. Nope. By God, if this phone is moving, if the GPS shows you moving, we're going to shut off the whole screen. Just a black screen. Everything is text, voice, and visual descriptions for the visually impaired. Audio descriptions for the visually impaired. I wonder how women feel about that. Just seems like they've got a whole real strong base for the my body, my choice type of arguments. I was just wondering how they feel about that.
And we're doing your makeup in the rearview mirror, driving down the road.
Is that what it says, or is this all about electronic devices?
No, this is all about electronic devices.
So they can, as long as their phone is in the holder on the dashboard and they're listening to their directions, they can go ahead and start putting on eyeliner doing 60 miles an hour. And what if you did have a map? What if the cop sees you looking down while you're driving and continually look down? Is he just going to assume you're looking at a phone? Like, it seems like that's a pretty small window of opportunity for a police officer to see what it is you're looking at. It's not that you can't have anything in your hand. Then if you're looking down at something, it'd be safe to assume, all right, you're looking at something in your hand and you're not supposed to have anything in your hand. But you've got what? Depending on the height of the vehicle, just a few inches to be able to see what is in somebody's hand when they're driving. And just like holding it up in front of their face while they're trying to drive, which probably not the best idea. Not that looking at your phone and driving is the best idea at all. It just seems like it'd be hard to enforce without just making some huge assumptions. Well, I didn't see it, but you probably were, so here's a ticket. I don't know what that was you were looking at, but it might have been a phone, so here's a ticket. Nope. MP3 players, illegal. Can't switch the song on your MP3 player because it's electronic. What if I've got a Discman hooked up to a tape that I've injected into the tape player in my car? Would it be illegal for me to press pause on the Discman because it's an electronic device?
I don't know. That's a big question. Well, the ruling has indicated that just looking at the phone while it's in your hand is operation enough, said the judge. We know that once your eyes deviate from the roadway, it is a very dangerous situation. Now, that's in quotation. The very next line says, drivers can still use built-in navigation systems in their vehicle. And using navigation on a phone that's mounted is also legal. But I thought we know that from the roadway, it is a very dangerous situation. So are you telling me the built-in navigation system, you're not deviating your eyes from the road? I mean, you just said it, the line before. I mean, I don't... Okay, yes, you do have two handles still, but like Josh said, you know, people can drive with their knees. I can drive with. I scared Liz driving down the highway. I was talking, and I talk with my hand a lot. I had both hands up in the air, like doing it's this big or whatever. But I had both my hands up over my head. Like, when? I'm using my knee to steer. I've been doing that forever. It has everything to do with where your eyes are at the time you're driving. Okay, so if you're looking down at your dashboard, how is that any different than looking down at a phone that you're holding in your hand?
There you go. That's a great defense. Do you have any idea how fast you were going? Well, fuck no, I don't. I would have to take my eyes off the road to try to figure out how fast I'm going, and the judge already ruled that shit is dangerous. I'm not about to do that. Nope, I was just guessing. I was just guessing the speed because that seems to be the safest way to do it.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, interview.
Yes, this is a topic near and dear to me quite a bit, only because drinking and driving is actually safer than distracted driving. And one of the things that is interesting about it is I'm sure everyone has probably seen inside of a modern day cop car. And they have a laptop
just
right
the
there.
back seat.
So, yeah, they got a laptop in there, and they're on, they're constantly getting these calls coming in through dispatch and stuff like that. And I pull up to cops once in a while, and I'll just, I make sure to get, right beside them so I can look, right inside their window and see what they're doing. And they're fucking off on their phones. But they have way more distractions than we do. And according to most states, they have to abide by every single driving law that civilians do, unless they get a call and then they actually activate their lights and the siren and stuff like that. Aside from that, they can't just run a fucking light if they want to.
Citizens rights! Citizens rights!
But I have seen some cops, it's very rare, where they will just, they do that whole thing where they're like, oh yeah, I'm on my lunch break, and then they'll blast through a fucking red light, and then they pull into McDonald's. Like, oh, you fuckers. But when it comes to the other types of distractions when they're driving, well, with modern day cars, like I have a 2024 Corolla LE hybrid or whatever it's fucking called. And then from there, a lot of the controls that are associated with basically all that onboard interface, which I was really against at the beginning. I'm starting to get used to it. I use it for simple shit. And I can increase the volume and all that kind of stuff, and I can switch between different types of things on the screen, all right there with my thumbs on the steering wheel. And once you get used to where those are, it's sort of like learning how to type. You just know where the keys are. And a lot of cars, modern day cars, they all have that now. And the only thing I listen to in my car when I'm driving down the road is like a podcast or a live stream, or I don't listen to the radio. I don't do any of that bullshit. And my phone is face down. It's over on the passenger seat. And sometimes it even just falls on the floor, so I don't have any fucking control of that. But I consider myself to be an extraordinarily safe driver because I follow all of those guidelines, and I don't want to get any traffic tickets. I don't want any points on my driving record anymore, and all that kind of stuff. I've never got a speeding ticket, by the way, ironically. And I've been driving since I was 15. So close to 30 years now. But other people, they can't go more than 30 seconds without just pulling out their phone and just looking at it. I was just like, what is going on? People can't see their surroundings anymore. No. Their phone is more important than their personal safety. So I think this is a problem. It's not getting any better. It's going to continue to get worse. And politicians are going to be doing it. Everybody's fucking doing it. I don't know, maybe I'm just like the outcast in this situation where I can observe it and realize that unless people are saying something about it, including, well, that's what I'm doing, and I have a big outlet where I will lecture students. I'll guilt trip the fuck out of them. Oh, you got into a car accident today. What was the cause of it? Oh, I was on my cell phone. That's why you were late to class? Yeah. You were right, Andrew. Mr. Baker. And that's when I'm like, see, I told you guys what's going on. But you're just refusing to abide by basic safety precautions. And it's the cell phone addiction. It's the nomophobia, irrational fear of not having a mobile phone. And I've challenged some students to do this. Like, hey, I'll buy you lunch if I get to lock up your cell phone inside of my desk drawer until the end of class. Not a single student has taken me up on it. I'm like, wow, that's fucking nuts. Like a $20 lunch, something fairly nice. And yeah, they won't fucking do it. Anyways, rant over.
Can't live without the phone.
All right. Well, how about those podcasts and stuff that you're listening to?
All right. Well,
wouldn't it be safer to shut them off so that you can focus that part of your brain, devote that much more attention to the act of driving?
I suppose if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty.
How about billboards? How about billboard signs? Shouldn't we just get rid of all the billboard signs? Because clearly they're not in front of you. They're off to the side of the road, whereupon you've got to deviate your eyes from in front of you and the traffic around you off to the side to stop, not even stop doing 80 miles an hour, to just read. I'm going to pause my driving and I'm going to read some billboards for a little bit.
Yeah, and most of them are accident attorney billboards. Isn't that ironic? That's what I see. But yeah, it's weird. I can listen to chess videos, let's put it that way, and still be extraordinarily safe driving 80 miles an hour on the freeway. But I don't know, it's maybe just because I've trained myself to do that properly. But
is that why you like to blast hard rock music while all your students take their tests? Because the auditory doesn't really distract people from the focus they have?
No, I don't do that.
No, because that'd be hard to focus with someone just blaring the radio. Because the auditory will distract your brain from paying attention to the safe and important things you're trying to do, like drive.
Well, that is true for most music until it comes into alpha waves, solfeggio, and as well as classical music, where people, if you have it on real soft, it actually helps concentration. This is why chess players and people specifically chess players, they listen to that kind of music very soft as they're practicing chess. Some chess players go above and beyond that, like Paul Morphy would practice playing chess with no music, being surrounded by a bunch of people, and he was very antisocial. And while he had people blowing massive amounts of cigar smoke in his face while he was playing in tournaments, and he still beat the fuck out of people because he was practicing under he hated cigars. So, all of the worst situations for him, but with enough practice, you can get good at something. But according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, you're 3 times as likely, on average, to get into a car accident because of distracted driving on a cell phone. And that's fucked up. Anyways, it's like break time, so
Liz was on time, too. Now we're getting breaks from everybody. Oh, we got a hard break from Liz.
Right, Liz ain't fucking around.
And that is the halfway point. Don't you folks go anywhere, because we do have a whole nother hour coming up after a little Mark Tremonti.
Nice.
We'll be right back. This is the Ironworks.
Cut through the fetters, reach the end, only to fight yourself again. Who would believe that now you're done? You carried the weight of everyone. After all the time we spent
dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Need input. Input.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of the Ironworks. Yeah, I got to tell you, Daz, that sounds like the worst crackhead ever. Falling asleep with his foot on the gas. If you're nodding out as a crackhead, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, you're not
I've got a crackhead story to share with you guys, but it doesn't take too long. I was outside my buddy's recording studio in Oakland, California, but I was going over there to pick him up, and we were going to be heading out to somewhere. I forget where it was. And so I was stuck outside of the gate. And, like, you know, this area of Oakland's like the worst place you can go to. And I was waiting out there. This is back when I used to smoke cigarettes. And I was just smoking a cigarette and waiting as I saw this black lady that she was definitely a prostitute. She was soliciting, like, every single guy that walked near her to, like, oh, yeah, suck your dick, $10, that kind of thing, right? It's fucking weird. And then she noticed me across the street, and she said, oh, yeah, give me a cigarette, or give me shorties. You know, she wanted, like, half of my cigarette. And I just put it out on the ground and right in front of her and just stepped on it. And meanwhile...
Andrew!
What?
That's just fucking evil.
She was smoking crack in front of children. She smoked it right in front of me and blew the crack smoke in my face.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Well, I didn't trust that bitch at all. And she had a small little purse. She probably had a switchblade or something like that in there.
Didn't even give you the push? What a bitch.
Yeah. She was not attractive, let's put it that way. And I was like, if you don't fucking leave me alone, there's going to be two things that are going to happen. I'm going to call the police, and you will be locked up probably for your, like, 90th time, or I'm going to knock you out. And I ended up just calling the police. I waited there for a half an hour as Chris came out, my buddy, and she said, I'll go to jail. I'm not afraid of jail. I've been there a lot. And I'm like, oh, well, that's fine then. Anyways, your rap sheet's going to get really long doing that. And what the police told me, or the dispatcher was asking me, was, does she have any weapons? I was like, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if she does. But she is soliciting prostitution, and apparently that's legal in Oakland now, completely legal. Mm-hmm. And then the dispatcher, she asked me, like, has she assaulted anyone or you? I said, no, not me, but I don't know if she assaulted anyone else, because she probably would just get knocked out. She was only like 5'2" or something, and way overweight. Like I said, not attractive at all. And that's my little crackhead story. Because I never saw anyone smoke crack before. I knew what crack pipes looked like, but that was my only crackhead story that I've ever actually encountered. So there's that.
Man, I don't get crack. I tried it. It's like only like 5 minutes long. I don't understand the appeal of it. Like it comes and goes so quick. Maybe if you do like a lot of it changes, but at least Coke, you have a drip and you don't have to like re-up every 5 minutes. Well,
I'll send you some of the good stuff, Rico. You'll be set.
Yeah. I never dealt well with speed or uppers. I was always a downer guy, but yeah, right. It's all right, I guess.
Well, on the same lines of drugs, is that, well, South Park is coming out with their new episode today. I've been scouring the internet, seeing if anyone has like uploaded it yet, and so far nobody has. And it's only a 45-second video, but that's where Randy walks over to his daughter Shelly. Like, Shelly, have you been taking ketamine? I really think it might help you. And it's going to be like another hour-long video. So,
nice.
Look forward to that. I've watched the trailer like 15 times. It's just so fucking funny that Butters, I think, gets put in charge of the TSA or something, or flight control. I don't know. It's fucking...
Dude, I think Randy is my favorite character. I really do.
Oh yeah, me too.
My favorite free streaming website to watch, free South Park is actually called kylesdad.com. No, I just wanted to call and chime in on the driving thing and being on your phone thing. I used to be like, like it's okay to respond to a text or hit this at a red light, but I've had easily 7 very close calls. Like, I'm the guy on the shoulder that depends on you to be fully aware. And like the places where it counts the most is people drop their guard, like whenever there's a turning lane coming up, they need to take a right. Well, especially people that get in the turning lane early, where there's not officially a turning lane yet, but they go ahead and hop over. Well, I'm the guy that's there. And I've had to dive in ditches. Like, if it wasn't for me being hyper vigilant, these cell phone guys, me and Amory me and my wife, once watched a guy slam into the back of another guy and never even tap his brakes. Like, his lights never hit because he looked down at his phone at a traffic light. Like, these cars, though, aren't really... The newer models are like a spaceship on the inside with smart screens everywhere, and some of the top dollar ones have, like, windshields, that are smart windshields. So it's kind of getting kind of antithetical to the whole stay off your phone thing, because they're turning cars into big, black mirrors on the inside. Like, even my wife's new car it's smart everything. You can touch anything and it does something.
Yeah, we have an older version of all that from like 2020. And yeah, I mean, it's not just that there's a screen over to the right at 45 degrees from your dashboard that has navigation and phone calls coming in, radio crap, whatever. But right in the middle of the dashboard, there's this multi-effect fucking, like, if you click the little joystick toggle thing on the steering wheel, it changes whatever the function of that middle area is. So it can show you all the tire pressure of each tire. It can show you a compass, or it can show you the distance between you and the car ahead of you and how you can change that so that the car that you're in will then slow down as it gets close to that car if it's in cruise control, blah, blah, blah. So it's like more crowd, like, distracted driving? Yeah, I think so. It's ridiculous. Give me a speedometer, give me a freaking oil gauge, and give me a freaking tachometer, and I'm good. Let's go. We don't need all that other crap.
Have you seen that one car? It's like, I forget the make, but it's the wheels, for example. The wheels themselves, not the tires. They change colors depending on what mode you're in, and they'll turn completely 90 degrees, like the bat motorcycle. For parallel parking, and the entire inside, including all the windshields, everything is black mirrored, like smart devices.
I know they're out there. I haven't seen them personally.
There's no steering wheel. I saw it on Instagram Reels. There's no steering wheel. There's just like a mouse down to your right, and that one thing controls the gas, the brake, and the direction with your right hand down to your side. There's nothing up front but screens. It looks like a freaking spaceship. I gotta admit, it's pretty badass, but it's like one of those $250,000 cars. How you guys doing? I hadn't called in a while.
Good, brother. How's things? Everybody's well? Back at the homestead?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, Aiden, my family's super spoiled. They celebrate their birthdays for a week.
Right.
And it's my daughter's sweet 16, so that's been
awesome.
My whole week's been wrapped around that. I've only been asleep for like 2 hours.
Well, tell her I said Happy Corporation Formation Day.
I will. And Andrew, she appreciates your gift. She doesn't know what she wants to get with it yet, but I think I know what she wants, though. She's what's that cartoon that's very conspiracy based? It's her favorite thing in the world.
Hello Kitty?
She has very, very conspiracy based. Like one of the characters is like a triangle with an eyeball.
Oh yeah,
Gravity
it's on
Falls.
Netflix.
Gravity Falls. It's
Oh
called
no,
Gravity Falls.
yeah, no, I missed that one. I mean, I
She's
know it's
oh.
out there. I just never watched it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
She's
I
obsessed
know.
with
I
it.
just never did get to it. It was never available until I was past that idea of watching it. So.
Well, I'm a big
I thought
fan.
you were talking about that newer one on Netflix, whatever that was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about too. I've watched that. God, what's that one called?
I know. My
what
brain's gone this
There's
morning.
been even a Flat Earth episode. I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But Gravity Falls is like very Illuminati. And,
Oh yeah, big time. I watched a few breakdown videos of it back in the day when it was happening, but I never did watch it.
Yeah, the granddad that they live with is a Shriner and all that. Like,
Right.
yeah. But she's obsessed with it. She has jewelry and books, and she got her whole theme last night at the party was that. So, Andrew, I have a feeling your gift is going to be spent toward that kind of thing, which...
All right, well, whatever she wants to use it for. But when you asked what is that conspiracy cartoon, first thing that came to mind was The Simpsons.
Oh, well, those two, but
Yeah,
what he means, this one's literally about the Netflix thing. God, I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. Like, it's almost too giveaway.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's good, though. Oh, God, now I'm going to be distracted. Before I go, is...
Nemo, no.
Yeah, what is it, Nemo? I'm sure you know what
Come
we're
on,
talking
Nemo,
about.
you were just watching it. Wait,
Is Zack-
Inside Job. There it is.
Is Zack there? Yeah,
no, he's
Inside
got it.
Job.
Inside Job. I knew Nemo would be all over it.
Is Zack there, or is he at work?
He's on the call. I'm not sure if he's left yet.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, I had this joke prepared for you, and I tried it out to my wife and failed miserably.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But you know how me and Zack bond over Pearl Jam, and just, like especially their non-radio friendly stuff. I was like, I think they came on like classic rock, which always makes me feel like shit. And Even Flow came on, and my daughter was like, I can't even understand what he was saying. And I was like, yeah, this song is kind of known for that, but I think it goes something like, oh, I met Eddie better in person, and he's better looking in person. Oh yeah. I'm not trying to say I'm gay to say there comes a time in every man's life when he questions his own sexuality. Oh yeah. And I went on this big, like, coming out of the closet, like, Even Flow thing. And it turns out it was in the moment, and I couldn't repeat it to save my life. But there you go. I did that for you, Zack.
I love it.
I think I got that from, I think Adam Sandler, when Pearl Jam came on SNL one time, did that. Especially I'm not trying to say I'm gay, I'm just trying to say there's a time in every man's life when he questions his own sexuality, because it's a mouthful. You guys have never been through the ringer with partying, will never know what it's like to try to sing and have, like, most of your mouth be fake teeth. But yeah, that was for Zack.
New ride in the work. Usually, it takes 10 minutes to go down.
What is it you're doing now?
Control flagger.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Zach, I forgot you were going to be hitting the road in the middle of the call. I should have showed that video earlier while you could see it. Damn it.
Josh, if you're there, I wanted to say hello before I went backstage.
Oh, I'm here. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I was looking at a field of about 100 cows. taking this way to work every day now. Yeah, 13 minutes.
Damn.
Don't have to highway. All back roads. All
What a
country.
great life. All you do is chew. Cows chew.
Well, before we lose anybody else, and I guess before the next break, I'll show the video, and then I'll just show it to you later, Zach.
Oh, I got a song request for, it doesn't have to be today, but at some point, can you play Swing Your Life Away by Rise Against?
You got that, John?
Swing Your Life Away by Rise Against. I have it now.
Yeah.
Ask me again on Friday.
Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, sir.
There it is. I see the red now.
And let me know when you get that intro ready. That's all I'm waiting on to book a time slot for my solo sombrero. No rush. I realize $20 is only $20 these days.
I was trying to work a little bit on it, not the easiest time getting that sombrero on your head.
That's the problem I had. I couldn't flip it the correct direction. You want a photo of me with the road rash on my face from another angle? Would that help you think? Because I couldn't do it at all. Plus, you were going to sync that song up to it. You know what? That's backstage talk. I love you guys.
I was looking through photos of you to find one for the right angle to make you look like Peter Criss for the solo album.
Oh my God!
Get it? You got it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't find one of you at the right angle.
Well, so far, me and you are the only people that get that reference for solo sombreros, so it's not going to sell. But that's what I think of.
Are you presenting me, Joshua?
Sir, I am.
Hey, love you guys. I don't want to take over the show like Andrew.
Can you see the screen where you are, sir?
Me?
You? Yes, Rico.
The YouTube screen or the other one?
Either one. Either one.
I sure can.
So, back in the early days of investigating the realm, we all were trying to figure out how to get this to happen with, our current handful of equipment. These days, it's literally 3 pushes of some buttons on the phone. Enjoy.
I'm looking at the right thing. Oh, I see it.
And of course, I played the wrong one first. I played the long one first. I meant to play the short one first.
That's still nuts.
I know that you can just push a button and there it is for you. Now, how much of that is phone processing and how much of that is actual photography remains to be seen. Here was my first attempt. Make sure it's still on high def. Yeah, okay. Well, that don't look like high def at all. This thing does weird stuff. This app that we're on, this Teams app, kind of sucks. Yeah, this one is crazy. This one has all kind of shit flying by. Like this that went across ... This went straight down to the street. There's going to be another one, that comes down ... But the dots are all different lengths. Then there's another one that shoots across this way at some point. This was all shot with an S23 Ultra. So if you have at least that version of an Android, you can do this pretty simply.
Have you heard? Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have you heard Sergeant talk? Oh, I've been invited to do a solo thing on Strange World.
Nice.
Have you heard him talk about looking at the sky with military glasses and like all the stuff going on that looks like that?
I mean, we've seen it real. Zack brought his night vision thing out when he was here visiting, and we went out to the darkness of we didn't go to the bayou side, but pretty close to it, where it's really dark, and looked through that thing, and the sky's full of shit moving and doing all kind of stuff all the time.
Well, the one they had to ban because people military guys were shooting at like demons and like dragons and shit. It's Sicilian or Massilian glasses. I'm sure one of you guys have had
Diacinian.
heard it. Diacinian. God, I said Sicilian. Hey! Oh, pepperoni pizza. I see a pepperoni pizza. Wow, I can't do accents for shit, dude.
That's great.
But yeah, there's a whole book about that, and what I suggest is the guy that wrote it, it's called Camellia or Camilio or something. No, yeah, Camilio, the book. But the author has been interviewed like on the higher side chats, and it's all the things that he experienced because his roommate was a soldier at a military base and stole a bunch of those Sicilian, some Sopranos glasses, and everything that happens to the roommate that never even saw the stolen military glasses is fucking crazy. Like he's talking about like they were able to they were spying on him and doing gang stalking and making the inside of his room look like it was way smaller than it was and bigger, and it gets worse and worse as it goes on. If anyone needs a new rabbit hole, look down that one. The book's called Camilio. Just find the author of Camilio and find that name and go to like the higher side chats is where I first heard his story. It's crazy. They're capable of so much with that Dicinian. Am I saying it right? Dicinian? I need to see the word written. That would probably help me remember it. What a trip. And Walt, your images made me think of that. Like what I've imagined sergeants talking about by, I guess just infrared is what they use now instead of Dicinian.
No, they still use night vision goggles on flight decks. When I was in the Navy, I got bored, so I volunteered to work on the flight deck. And at one point, and I wasn't one of the guys that was actually navigating and driving around the vehicles, navigating for the helicopters and all that stuff. I was basically just a fucking grunt. And at one point, I went up to one of the flight deck controllers, and I said, "Hey, can I take a look through those?" And they're NVG-9s, the same ones that Navy SEALs get. And they're very expensive. And you can already see like really weird shit when you're out in the middle of the ocean. And there's no light at all. You can't see your hand in front of your face. That's how dark it is. Anyways, when I looked up, I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what we see every single night. It's like shit that's going back and forth, like crazy directions." And I was like, "What do you think it is?" They're like, "I don't know." It's just fucking weird how you see it. It's almost like there's a bunch of fireflies in the sky. But that's my only experience with those. I've never used NVGs aside from that one time or a couple times.
I wonder where you get Dicinian. Like, is it something you can make? Is it a crystal? Is it a liquid? Like, this is probably a Zack question, but I remember hearing Melodone talk about it. Is why I know I've heard the name. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Seems like Dicinian is not the same as night vision. It's not the red night vision. Those aren't Dicinian
first
goggles.
Version of military, and like that's why they took it away, right?
I don't think that's the same.
Oh, okay.
I think Dicinian goggles are for seeing auras, and it allows you to see auras. I don't think it's night vision per se.
The military grade night vision, it comes in gray, black, and green. That's what you see. Because all it does is it amplifies the light that is potentially already there. So like if you're in a pitch black room, night vision goggles do absolutely nothing.
Oh, I wonder how I would see it. You know, I can't see any color. Like I only see shades of gray. I wonder what that would look like to me, or if it would be affected at all. Man, I tell you what, being a big time conspiracy guy for this many years, I've been down so many rabbit holes. I'm crossing wires all the time, crossing streams all the time.
I do that a lot. Conflate all sorts of shit.
Yeah. Holy break time. Call in for 5 minutes, Rico, then hop off. That sucks.
Yeah, missed that completely, didn't we? Shit. All right. Don't let you folks go anywhere, because we got the fourth and final segment of the Ironworks coming up, and who knows what the hell we're going to get into. I think I'm just going to keep getting high. Not for nothing. So much so that even my soul will be coughing. We'll be right back. This is the Ironworks.
Remembered at random serpentine through fatty coils emerging. Some other thought it's thinking. This light shines above the houses on the ground. This illumination visited upon the whole land. Unmarked helicopters hovering. The Lord is coming soon. Here comes the supercopter, here comes the noise it makes. The demon was an idea, the demon is awake. Well, scratch mark left across the surface of your mind. This hour now upon us, the hour has now arrived. Unmarked helicopters hovering. The Lord is coming soon. Unmarked helicopters hovering. They said it was a weather balloon. I know the truth. I know the whole shebang. I know the names of men they had to hang. I let her out the trunk. I heard what she said of them. They come to drag her through the double M. Here goes black, 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 and black. Here goes black, 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 and black. There goes black, 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 and black. He goes black, 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 and black. Unmarked helicopters hovering. The Lord is coming soon. Unmarked helicopters hovering. They said it was a weather balloon. 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 It was a weather balloon.
Good morning, good morning. We talked the whole night through. Good morning to you. Good morning, it's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cozy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt, and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks.
This is is enlightened dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the IRONWORX with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the IRONWORX and become an Iron Scout.
And welcome back. I want to give Zack a big shout out and a big safe, happy rest of your day, sir. Watch your
Yeah, love you guys.
Love you too.
You guys have a great day.
Love you, brother.
Stay cool. All that good stuff. I see y'all on Friday.
All right.
Love you, Zack.
Love you
Love
guys.
you, man.
Bye.
Take care.
And a big shout out to Nemo for the song request over there on the flat line. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
I saw those guys live back around like 94, 95.
Really, I'd never
Good
heard
band.
of them. Never heard of them before.
Soul Coughing?
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't one of their. Well,
Who
they
was
never
it?
had
I
hits.
missed it.
Soul Coughing?
I remember hearing Maynard talk about them one time, maybe, and then just never had access to them. That was like 90 something, and then never found them. I missed it too. Cool.
Tool used to tour with the most. Like today, they don't make sense. But back then, like the first time first time was Lollapalooza '93. But the second time I saw Tool, like when they were just by themselves, the openings were Failure and Flaming Lips. They used to tour with some obscure, like,
Tomahawk.
Yeah, Mike Patton's one
With
of his
Patton
many.
coming out full fucking military cop gear, and that was before it was on every news program, when all the cops hadn't gone to the full military gear, and he was all out there in it, like just egging the crowd on, pushing the buttons. It's like, this dude, fucking genius. That was before
What's his name
Maynard
from Helmet?
started doing it, right?
Oh, that's right. Maynard did do that one.
Yeah, Mike did it first.
I saw the next tour, the Anima tour. Maynard came out in just his boxers, and he was painted head to toe in blue.
Yeah, when I saw it, it was half blue and half white, and the half blue side had like star patterns done in it with white in it. That's the one version of Anima,